So in the 35 years since the first Legend of Zelda game was released, fans like us have enjoyed hours upon hours of entertainment, adventure, amazing story and characters. So a couple of weeks ago, the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda came and went, and Nintendo didn't say anything about it. So today, I'm going to do the only logical thing I could think of and throw a birthday party for The Legend of Zelda in my house by myself. Hello everybody, I'm Nintera, and thank you for clicking on this video and going through the celebration with me. I'm a really big fan of The Legend of Zelda, so when I saw that Nintendo wasn't doing anything to celebrate it yet, they probably still will later in the year, but since there hasn't been a big celebration yet, I'm doing it. It's gonna be a good time. So my plan is to make the cake. I've got some birthday decorations that we'll set up, make it look nice. Then, once it's all done, we'll bring it all together and we'll have our party. First, let's head into the kitchen and make our cake. Welcome to my kitchen. All right, so today we're gonna be making a funfetti cake, of course, because we're doing a birthday party. So first, I'm gonna measure out all of our dry ingredients and get them into this bowl. I'll try not to bore you guys too much with the baking details. I know this isn't a baking channel. All right, so I've got all of the dry ingredients in this bowl. I'm gonna grab a whisk and mix them all together. So I was considering making Zelda's fruit cake from Breath of the Wild for this instead of a funfetti cake, because it would be, you know, more Zelda themed. But that seemed really complicated, and I would have to buy like 6 different kinds of fruit that I don't have already and would not use a lot of. So funfetti it is. Our dry ingredients are all mixed together. So now we need to add all of our wet ingredients into my mixer here, and then we will mix those all together. All right, now I've got all of the wet ingredients in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix them all together. I don't know if this is right. Maybe if I just add the dry ingredients, it'll turn out fine, right? Looks good to me. Next, we add the sprinkles. All right, so our batter has our sprinkles in it. I'm going to grab my cake pans that I already have lined. Now I just need to pour this into the pans. We'll get it in the oven and we'll be good to go. You guys have to see how pretty this looks. Our cakes are in the oven, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this disaster of a mess I made, and then we're going to decorate the dining room. So I'll see you guys in just a second for that. So now we'll go ahead and decorate this area. This will be our party location. So I bought some birthday decorations. So let's open them up and see how they look. I've got some just tape that we're gonna hang stuff up with. Let's start with the actual happy birthday poster, because then we can sort of revolve everything around that. And I'm going to have to string this myself, so we'll cut to that right now. All right, so I got these banners strung up. We've got one, okay, if I hold the correct way, got one right there that says happy, and then one here that says birthday, hopefully. Yeah, I think, yeah, that looks right. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang these up, and then we'll kind of base where all of these other things go around that. I think that's centered. I'm mostly covering it, but that's okay. Next, I've got these string of circles. So I think I'll put this up over the top and it will kind of hang down the sides also. The little circles are up. Now we have, I don't know what these are. Ooh, okay. These are neat. Looks like I've got a few of these, so I'll go ahead and shape all of those real quick. So we've got a couple of these things. I'm not sure where I want to put them. We also have these. That's pretty. Can you guys see it on the camera? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just going to not do the purple ones. Maybe I'll do one each of blue, red, and green, because those, you know, are the colors of the three goddesses of the Triforce. You've got your blue for Nehru, green for Furore, and red for Din, so that might make sense. Maybe I'll do that with these too. We won't hang up the purple, yellow, and pink ones. We'll have the goddess colors. Yeah, it's almost like I planned this or something. I didn't, but maybe. So I think those are the decorations that we're gonna go with. All right, so the last thing I've got is some balloons, and likewise, I can do the three Zelda colors. Yeah, we'll do two of each color, and we'll do something with them. You know what? I think one of each color is gonna do. We're gonna have other stuff like the cake on the table, so I'm done with the balloons. All right, so I think all of our decorations for the party are done, and the cake also just finished, so we're gonna head back to the kitchen and frost it real quick. All right, so the cakes have been baked. I pulled them out of the oven and they're resting on these wire racks. So while these finish cooling off, we're going to go ahead and make a buttercream frosting to frost them with. We've got buttercream. Now, once again, I'm gonna clean all this stuff up real quick and then we will ice the cake. I have this little cake stand that we're gonna use, so I'm just gonna take that lid off. All right, perfect. And the cakes are totally cool now, so we should have no problem frosting them. I've made way too much icing. We're gonna go ahead and put a layer on this first cake. We'll put the other one on top of it and then we'll frost the whole thing. All right, now we just gotta frost all over it. Now the question is, did I just decide to make this video so that I could make an entire cake for myself for no reason? Maybe. Am I good at frosting cakes? No. But that's okay, because it's gonna taste good. I definitely made too much frosting, and I made a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. I think we're gonna call this good. Let's see, I'll put some sprinkles on the top, right? And then I do have birthday candles, so we'll go ahead and put 35 on there. We did it! Now we can put this beautiful top on, and I think it's party time. All right, we're back. We've got our cake here that we made. All our decorations are up. I think it's time for a party. So I think the first thing that I'm gonna do before I just start gushing about why I love The Legend of Zelda and why it's my favorite video game franchise, let's light the candles on this cake. So I guess all I'll say for now is thank you guys so much for celebrating Legend of Zelda's 35th anniversary with me. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna blow out these candles. We're going to cut a piece of the cake, give it a try, and then honestly, I'll just tell you about why I love The Legend of Zelda so much and why it's such a great video game franchise and why I did this. Our numbers are starting to melt, so let's cut into this. Look at that. Guys, it turned out beautiful. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a closer look here at our creation. Let's give this sucker a try. Oh, that's good. I wish I could share this with all of you guys. Honestly, maybe I'm just stir crazy and it's been a long time since I've thrown a party, so this is my excuse to throw a party for one. Anyways, like I said, I kind of just want to talk a little bit about why I think The Legend of Zelda is the best video game franchise ever. There's just no other feeling like starting up a new Zelda game full of adventure. There are so many things for you to do and things for you to discover. It's honestly one of the best feelings, and playing the Legend of Zelda games just make me so happy. If you guys hadn't noticed, my favorite game is Wind Waker, which I think is also the only Zelda game that I can think of where we celebrate a birthday. Of course, Link's birthday, coming of age and becoming the same age that the hero of time, or Link from Ocarina of Time, was when he defeated Ganondorf. But, you know, we get cake, Link gets clothes. Or if you're playing Master Mode, then you get nothing. The Legend of Zelda series is just the epitome of adventure, and there are so many fun characters for you to find and interact with. Our main characters have such a deep backstory between them all, and honestly, I just love that kind of storytelling that The Legend of Zelda has. There's so much lore for you to look into. The Legend of Zelda lends itself so amazingly to just hundreds of theories that the fan base comes up with, and honestly, I love listening to every one of them. Channels like Zeltic, Nintendo Black Crisis, and Hyrule Gamer all have such amazing videos on The Legend of Zelda that I honestly just love to watch, sometimes more than once even. They talk about such great theories and story elements and items and quests, and there's just so much out there in the Legend of Zelda world for fans like us to grab onto and just run with, whether that's theorizing or studying lore or just adventuring and having a good time. Honestly, one of my first introductions to conspiracy theories for The Legend of Zelda came from Peanut Butter Gamer's G-Files video on the Ben Drowned theory. I guess that one's not technically really a theory, more of like a creepypasta, but you get what I mean. Same thing. 1 second, I gotta eat another bite of this. So in the 35 years since the first Legend of Zelda game was released, fans like us have enjoyed hours upon hours of entertainment, adventure, amazing story and characters. And The Legend of Zelda is why I started this channel in the first place. It's because I feel so strongly about it, and I love the series so much that I wanted to share that love that I have with all of you that are watching right now. On my last video about what I want to see in Breath of the Wild 2, I just absolutely loved being able to talk with you guys about things that you wanted to see in Breath of the Wild and stuff that you don't want to see in Breath of the Wild, whether you agreed with me or disagreed with me. I honestly just love being a part of this community, and I love having such an amazing game to talk about so many people with. So The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is the first Zelda game that I ever played. When it was released on the GameCube, I was about 4 years old. So The Wind Waker is not only the first Zelda game I ever played, but also one of the first video games I ever remember playing. Between that and Luigi's Mansion. Luckily though, I'm old enough to beat the bosses all by myself now, and I don't have to have my dad do it for me. I guess all I'm trying to say is that I love The Legend of Zelda, and I really appreciate that it's part of my life. And The Legend of Zelda is really what got me into video games at all, and I am just so grateful for that because it's one of my favorite hobbies now and what I spend the majority of my time doing if I'm not at work. I'll be back to normal, more scripted Legend of Zelda videos next week, but honestly, I had a lot of fun trying to give The Legend of Zelda the recognition that it deserves, at least so far as I can do. So let me know in the comments down below if you celebrated the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda in any way, even if it was as small as just playing some games, posting something about it on your social media. It doesn't have to be this elaborate and frankly ridiculous. Yeah, I would say I need to get out more, but I can't. So thank you guys so much for celebrating this with me. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys down in the comments about your favorite Legend of Zelda games, maybe items, dungeons, bosses, anything that you want to talk about. I am absolutely down to talk about with you. And thank you to everybody that left comments or likes or even watched my video from last week. Reading those comments meant so much to me, and I was so excited to be able to respond to them and talk about Legend of Zelda with other fans. And as always, I post videos every single Wednesday, so subscribe to my channel if you want to see when those come up. Give this video a like if you enjoyed what I did here and to help my videos out in the YouTube algorithm. Leave me a comment if you want to chat with me because I want to chat with you. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye!